Hey traders, welcome back to part 2 of the order types video for my Keep It Seriously Simple video series. I'm in my broker platform here. This is my Oanda broker. I'm a US trader, so that's one of the big three. We have IG Markets US, Forex.com, and Oanda. So I've been with Oanda for about 6 years now, and I've been pretty happy with them. Some good continuity, and I love the trading permissions that I can get from them versus others. So anyway, if you're with this particular broker, it's going to look very familiar. If you're with another broker, their web portal, which is what I show here, it's pretty straightforward. I'm in the charts. I can search any currency pair. If I want to trade the dollar versus the JPY, I can search for the dollar yen, and I can pull up my trading window. If I wanted to go through the pound US dollar like we talked about in video 1, I'm in my pound US dollar. I can change the time frame. I can find my trade using this chart. I can also go into my trading window. So what I'm going to do is go into the Create New Order tab, and this brings up the trading widget. Now, if I wanted to sell at market, I highlight the sell button at market, and then I decide what my trade size is going to be. I decide where my take profit level is going to be. So this would be sell at market, which would be 3010. Let's say I want to take profit of 2,900 and a stop loss at 1.3050. Now, what's cool about this little trading widget is it will give me, based on my unit size or my trade size, what I'm looking at per pip in risk as well as reward. It also shows me what I'm using up in margin, which I talked about this in a previous video. And it gives me my reward in pips. So this is a 111 pip reward for a 38, almost 39 pip risk. So if I looked at that math, I'd say 111 divided by 39 is a 2.84 reward to risk ratio. So it fits my risk parameter. If I like the trade, I just go ahead and click submit. I'm not going to because it's a live account, so I'm not going to take this trade, but it's very cool to kind of see how you can outline your trade. You can look at your reward to risk, make sure it's a good setup, plan your trades in advance. Obviously, plan your trade your plan. This would be a market sell. If I want to do a market buy, I just click on the buy button. Now, because current price, which is 1.3017, because I'm looking at a market buy, I have to put my profit level above that and my take profit level below that. So let's say that if I'm going to buy it here at 3017, let's say I want this to go to 1.3100, and that would be an 82 pip profit. If I think that I can keep it really tight around 29.90, that'd be a 27 pip risk. I can place a trade there. That'd be a 10,000 unit trade or a 1 mini lot position using $650 in margin for $1 per pip for me and against me. So if I want to place a trade, that'd be a market buy. The other one we did was a market sell. Now let's talk about the limit buys or sells, okay? Or the stop buys or sells. Now in my first video, I actually used buy stops and buy limits first. So let's do that one. So if I wanted to do a buy limit, remember, this is for price to go higher. So if you see in the shaded background, this is current price right here. If I wanted to buy a break of these highs, I'm going to look and see that is right around 3,100. And if I believe that my stop loss should be below this candle, maybe I can do this. Okay, I'll actually highlight this in red. So let's use the line tool. Let's go red. Let's say that I want to use this as my stop loss. And this line up above, I'll highlight that in blue. That will be my entry. So if I believe that price needs to break above this high right here from current price, this would be a buy stop order. My stop loss would be down here, and my reward, let's say that we want to go after this high. Now you can see that this setup is a favorable reward to risk ratio. If I use a box right in here, I'll highlight my risk. So this would be my reward, and this would be my risk right here in red. So it's a decent setup right there. So as far as it fits the eye, positive surplus as far as reward to risk, that's good. Now let's set the trade up. So if I believe that price needs to break above 3,100, I would do this. I would put a stop buy, which is highlighted right here, stop buy at 3,100. So I need to set my price level at 3,100, and I'll turn that expiration up to 3 months. My take profit, I'm going to go all the way up here. That high is 3,450. And there we are right there at 34.50. Now my stop, I had around 20, let's say 28.50 is safely below this low. I can type in 28.50 right here. Now you can see that I'm going after 350 pips of profit for 250 pips of risk. If that was a setup that I wanted to take, 350 divided by 250 means I'm going after a 1.4 reward to risk setup. So it's still favorable. I'm not complaining about a surplus. Do I love this trade at this particular time? No. But that would be how I could set up a buy stop. If I believe that price is going to go higher and I wanted to take a breakout right there, then I'm looking for price to move and fill me on the way up and then continue to go and continue to go and continue to go. Of course, if I started my stop loss down here, I can, if price goes my way, I can change my stop loss and modify this trade to reduce the risk. So there's all sorts of ways to manage this trade, but this is just getting it set up. If I wanted to buy above, that'd be a buy stop level. Okay, if I wanted to buy a dip, let's talk about a limit buy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now look for, and I'll use a different colored line here. Let's go to yellow. If I think that price is, this is current price, if I wanted to buy a pullback, which I like this kind of inefficiency level right here, put a stop loss below this low, and then go after this as my take profit. You can see that that pullback, if we had price pulling back here and then running higher, that sets me up for a very solid reward to risk ratio. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I wanted to buy, this would be a limit buy on a pullback, and that would be around 29, I'll call it 29.60 because I know I have to take the spread into account. So I'm going to do a limit buy at 29.60. Okay. And my take profit is at 34.50 and my stop loss is at 28.50. Everything is setting up nicely. I've got 110 pip risk because I'm buying a pullback. I have a 490 pip reward because that's a previous high. So a really nice setup right there on that buy limit trade. Cool. All right. So let's go in and do some sells with a different broker platform. So I'll still use the pound dollar to keep it simple. I'm going to go into my MetaTrader 4 platform and do the same thing. So let's delete this. Let's go into MetaTrader 4. And let's find the pound US dollar. Okay, so pound US dollar, this is on MetaTrader 4, and let's just focus on the real estate here. Daily chart is setting up. Now we're looking at sell options. Now, if I wanted to sell it at market, current price is 1.3014. I'm doing this video on a Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So what I want to do is check and see what the spread looks like. I'm going to right click on my chart, go into a trading window, and click on new order. Now, right now, I have about a 1.8 pip spread on this pound US dollar. Not too bad. It's built in. That's reasonable. If I wanted to sell this at market, I could go ahead and do market execution, and I could sell at market at 1.3014. Now, remember, in order for me to get into break even or better, I need to cover my 1.8 pip spread. So that would look like this. I would have to have price, the bid price would have to move down 1.3012, and that would cover my spread. Essentially, if I cover the 2 pips of movement, I cover the 1.8 pip spread, and I'm break even or better. So if I want to sell at market, I can put in my trade size. Let's say I want to trade a mini lot right there, which would be 0.10. If I want to trade a micro lot, that's 0.01. If I want to trade a standard lot, that's 1.0. All right, so I pick the trade size, I can insert my stop loss and take profit, and my market execution, I would sell at market if I was interested. I don't want to do that right now, so I'm not going to. Okay, so that would be an option to sell at market. Now, if I plan this trade out, let's just say, again, this is all hypothetical here. If I wanted to sell at market and I wanted a stop loss up here and I wanted to go after a surplus, I could look at these lows of support. I could look at this previous low as well. If this is my risk, this is my reward. It would hopefully favor me to the sell side. And if price is going my way, I should move stop losses to eliminate my risk as well. Right? Now let's zoom in and let's get a little bit more specific on this trade. Let's say that we believe, and this is actually a trade that I kind of like on this one. I'm going to change this to yellow. If we have this high right here and we have this low, I really think that this high to low, lower high is setting up for another swing to the downside. Right? And this is legitimate analysis. I really think that as long as price stays below 3,000 on this pound US dollar, that there is a bearish bias. Now, if price invalidates by going significantly higher, I will cancel that notion. But if we go back down below these levels, I think we have a pretty clean sell trade for a stop loss above this high. So that could be a sell stop order, correct? So that would look like this. If I use a red line, and let's say that price breaks below this level here, and I want to put a stop loss up above, and I want to go after this level in profit. Let's use a different color here. Let's go after this low. We have previous lows right over here. Okay, or we have this, really nice low as well. Anything in this area would be an acceptable profit. A big profit would be let it run all the way down to those lows. Now, I can just go ahead and use my tool inside this charting platform. If I wanted to look at a sell stop, that means that I don't get filled on this trade until price goes below this level, which happens to be around 2.8. That is around 2.846. So I could put in a sell stop order at 2.845 and then put a stop loss above this. So let's do that. And that means that we would be risking, for starters here, I'd have a risk of about 266 pips, and I'd have a reward. If I go to my first target, that's 575. That's pretty solid. That is almost 700 pips. That's pretty solid. So for 260 to 520, that's pretty decent, right? So if we exceed the 520, that's more than a 2-to-1. Good stuff. If it goes all the way down there, even better. So how do I set this trade up? It's a sell stop at 2.845. So I'm going to right click, go into trading, and select new order. So this would be a mini lot. Now this would be, instead of market execution, this is going to be a pending order. So I'm looking at a sell stop, and that price is 1.2845. Okay, now if I wanted to put that stop loss, which is above this high at we'll just put 3,100. So 1.3100, and I wanted to take profit at 1.2200. 1.2200. Now I can go ahead and set these parameters up with a sell stop order, place this trade, and then price has to fall and cross over that level in order for me to activate this position. So I'll place this trade right here just to show you as an example. There. Now let me delete my drawings. Look, you have a sell trade right here. That's a sell stop order with a stop loss above and a take profit down here. So again, you can compare. We're looking at around a 260 pip risk for a 630 pip reward. So let's do the math on that. So 630 divided by 260. We're looking at a 2.42 reward to risk. Okay, if you like the setup, that is an option for this particular trade. If you're looking for more confirmation, perhaps it could be something as simple as this. Do we break a trend line? Do we break a channel? If price starts to confirm the right side of this trend line and channel, I would like to see this break lower. Perhaps it's high to low, lower high to lower low, lower high to lower low. So we have a couple of waves that are going to take place on this trade. Right? So that's a pretty good looking trade. Now, for the sake of this video, you can see that I have the trades in. I'm not going to keep this trade active right now. I'm going to continue to short term and kind of day trade the pound pairs. So I'm going to delete this order right here. So I just right click on the screen and actually click directly on my order. If I right click and delete it, now it's gone. And that deletes also the stop and the take profit. So that would be if I wanted to place a sell stop. If I think that I have a great level, this actually is another pretty good looking setup. So let's take a look at this. Here is a level that I believe we could sell with a stop loss above this high with a take profit down here at these lows. This would be a what? Because price is currently lower than the level I want to sell from. So we're looking at the sell limit order, right? So that means that price has to come back up to my level, activate the trade, and then I can sell from there and see if price goes my way. Okay, so let's set that trade up. Let's find the value. I can look at a sell trade right here. That crosshair is around, I'm looking at that inefficiency around 3124. So I like 3120. 3120, and the high is 3485. I'll put it at 35. All right, so 3120. All right, so let's go in here. Go to a new order. This is a sell limit. Mini lot, pending order, sell limit. My price is going to be 1.3120. My stop loss is 1.3500. And my take profit is down here at 1.2200. If I go ahead and double check everything, it looks good. Also, with some of these broker platforms, make sure you check the expiration. I don't like to place a trade and then have it expire the next day. So usually I click on the expiration and I scroll out a couple of months and then click place. And there's a trade. So this is now a sell limit order, which means that I'm looking to get filled right here. If price moves up to my level, that's where I activate the trade. I'm looking for price to continue to go down to my take profit, and my stop loss starts up here. If we make a low in price and pull back and then make another low, I will be moving that stop loss to here, moving that stop loss to here, managing profits and trapping those profits into this previous support. So that is a sell limit, right? So Forex, crypto is very similar as far as using a platform. Market buys, market sells, sell stops, buy limits and sell limits. Also, if we go into a stock platform, I'll go into Robinhood right now. So I'm going to delete this order here. And let's go into a stock account. So I will use Robinhood. This is just a really easy one. You can also do this on your phone with Robinhood. That's why I use it. If you had TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim or E-Trade, again, just understand the order types. So if I wanted to buy Amazon right now, it is 6:24 Eastern Time, PM. So that means that Wall Street is closed. So right now it is post-market. Now I can't trade post-market, okay? But what I can do is I can trade the open of tomorrow. I can trade at market. So if I wanted to buy shares, all right, at market price, you see that it's 3358. That's the close of today. Now, there's no guarantee that I'm going to get filled at 3358. If we gap higher, I'm going to pay whatever the higher price is. If it gaps at 3359, I'm going to pay that dollar difference. If it gaps lower, then I'll get filled at the first available price at 9:30's open, Wall Street time. Yeah. So if I want to buy shares, I can insert the number of shares. What I do like about some of these broker platforms now is you can actually trade fractions. Now, the difference with fractional shares is that I cannot set a limit order. That's the trick here. So if I want to buy a dollar amount, I just have to take a dollar amount and put it into the current price. So it's essentially a market buy at current price for fractional shares. But if I wanted to say, you know what, I've been watching Amazon all year and it's too high. It's too high. I'm not going to buy it at $3,358. So how about I set a limit order at $3,000? So I can do that here. So buy Amazon, I'll put limit price $3,000 and shares, I'll take 1 share. The next is good for day or good till canceled. I typically on all my orders here, if I'm doing a limit buy especially or a limit order, I will do good till cancel. That gives me a 90-day window for expiration. And that means I can set it up now and have this trade get filled maybe in the next day, the next 5 days, the next 90 days, and still have this trade be active. So I don't have to keep resetting this trade. So if I want to take a limit buy at $3,000, I can do that here, and that would get me in. As long as Amazon drops to $3,000, I can get filled at that level, and I'll start buying and investing in Amazon at $3,000. Let's find Apple, for example. Apple, why Apple? Because we had a 4-to-1 reverse split. The stock is cheaper. We're at 120 bucks. So now let's say, you know what? I like that round number at $100. Okay, cool. Do I want to buy fractional shares on Apple? If so, I can put in a dollar amount there. If I want to buy shares of Apple, and I don't want to buy it at 121, I can buy it at a limit price, and I can set that limit price at 100 bucks. And I can buy 10 shares. Okay? Good for day, good till canceled. Again, give me a 90-day expiration. And this says allow this order to execute during extended hours. In some cases, you may get filled in pre and post market if liquidity is available, but most of the time you're just going to get filled during Wall Street hours. All right, so easy way to buy and sell. Other platforms, it's all the same thing. Do you want to buy at market? Do you want to sell at market? Do you want to buy above with a buy stop? Do you want to sell below with a sell stop? Or do you want to buy the dip with a buy limit? Or do you want to sell the retracement on a sell limit? And that's it. So I just want to use video 2 as a way to go into the broker platforms and navigate this. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave me a comment, like the video. This is video 2 for order types and my Keep It Seriously Simple video series. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all the likes. Share the video. Talk to you all soon, everybody. Take care. Bye.